Hello everyone, and welcome to Channel Business Podcast with Hanne. Channel Business Podcast is all about sharing ideas, insights, and valuable tips from leaders around the world who have been rising through the struggles to where they are now.
There are difficult situations, but there is always tons of solutions. So I'd say that I also find it very interesting. It doesn't matter if it's work or private life. If somebody says that it's impossible, I'm like, no.
Go beyond.
Yes. It's like basically almost nothing is impossible.
The podcast episodes will teach you about different things, what you can take in your daily life as a leader to take things forward from one step to another. We will talk about all facets of life. What are the essential steps for you to take the business forward? I'm your Channel Business Podcast host, Hanne Nuutinen, a global business influencer, taking you to this growth ride of Channel Business episodes. Let's go and dive deep into today's topic of female leadership in area where normally women are not represented so much. Today's guest, we have Kati Huhtala, a Finnish entrepreneur who's been in the logistic industry over 20 years. They have a family-owned business which has been rising and exploring the world in many countries. Kati is also a co-founder of MAG, which is a beauty and wellness company established with her sisters. Energy, determination, and passion towards the industry and its renewals are seen everything what she does. Kati has spent her childhood growing up within a family which established a logistic company where life was stigmatized as anything is possible if you just want it strong enough. She feels that the thought is her superpower. She knew from her early age on that her path will be within this industry and in this family-owned company where work seemed to be so joyful. Kati keeps saying how truly thankful she is to her father for giving her the space and chances to do things, stepping down and letting her to perform in a leadership role despite of her such a young age at a time. Now Kati leads a company that is a role model within the logistic industry in Finland and in Europe, a company that is constantly growing under her leadership. Kati Huhtala believes that if you want something really much, you can do anything. There are no limitations, not even the sky. So welcome, Kati.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I'm so happy to have you today to talk about what is it like to be a woman in an industry where there normally aren't women leading the position and being in the leadership of that sort of logistic company and transportation and doing all this like a so-called men work. How do you feel about all that?
I think it's a question that I get asked a lot.
I suppose.
Yes. And to me, it seems even a little bit, I'd say, strange or odd, because it's something that my parents have had the company since I was very little.
So you've grown up in that environment whole life?
And I've spent like loads of time with men because there was always men around the house. There was always, we were doing work together even when I was a very small girl.
Yeah.
And I think it's, like I said, it sounds a little bit strange to me because I have always fitted very well. No, I have not heard any comments about me being female. It's more of like people inside the industry, it has never been an issue. It's like, I have never made it as an issue, but they have never made it as an issue. I have always fitted there. So it has been really, really easy.
Why do you think it's that way, that it hasn't been an issue? Because that's not the common case.
Yeah, I think it's,
Is it because of your personality, or?
I'd say it's also because of my personality, but then again, I also think about that. I think that these people like that work in transport business, they and logistics, they tend to be quite relaxed.
Very true.
Yeah. So it's like, and they are also like, people think that it's very traditional field of business, but to be honest, I think that these people have been very innovative. They have been like times have changed a lot, and they have been able to like change themselves within that.
So they also grown with the company, and you've grown with the company.
Yeah. So I think that I would say that these mostly men who work in the field, they deserve to have applause, because they are like they have always welcomed me, and it has not been an issue. Yeah.
Oh wow, that is really rare, but maybe it is that in the logistic industry it is. It has people who are much more open-minded, and who don't mind about that, because in some industry which is more male dominated, there is an issue having the females also, and especially in the leader position.
Yeah, and I'd say that it's always been over. They have always welcomed me, and like said, on the other hand, I have never made it as an I don't know. There's been several places where I have been the only female.
Yeah.
But then
you are just among others.
Yes.
Oh wow. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yes.
And then how would you say that maybe it's part of because you were raised that way, and what your parents did, owning the company and building the company, and you grew up within that whole environment, and just that was normal to you. Maybe it's also because of that, but how would you say from your perspective, and being you, the blondie, very, like a feminine looking woman, but still this strong person who can lead the company and who can take the step, because I assume that not every woman would take that sort of step and continue your parents' work.
Yeah, that has also been a very sort of natural path for me. So it has, I think it always has been like, it's kind of like I have not chosen it. It has chosen me, or something like that.
That was a like bigger thing in world.
It sounds like very poetic, but I
think it's beautiful.
I think it has always been like that, and I think that it's in many cases like I see that there's people who are running their family businesses and so on, and they kind of say that they were obliged to do it, and they really, I don't know if they are happy to do it, because it's something that they are just they were expected to they were expected to do it, but it's like I said, it has always been very natural, and this this makes me happy. Yeah, this is what I want to do.
I was just going to ask that you look like you are very happy in that environment, and you are very happy what you do, and the way you do things, and the people are involving you and taking you there. So it seems that you are very happy, and now that you said it, it's beautiful to hear all that.
Yeah.
I know that there because you grew up to be within the company, and people, I've heard from you that the people who were working there when you were a little girl are still working there with you. But there has been this change in the ownership, that your parents own it and now you are in the charge, but even though that they are still somehow involved with the company. But the staff members have really chosen you to be their leader. And it's not like you chose to be the leader there, but it was natural path, and they are welcoming you to be their leader.
I think it's also due to the fact that I've been there for so long. And I think that it's also many times that like if somebody just comes and says maybe for example in family companies, sometimes it happens that people have never ever seen somebody before, and then somebody just comes there one day and says, "Hi, I'm the director of this or director of that."
Yeah.
So it doesn't like it's. I'd say that trust and respect is something that you need to earn, and that never happens in like one night. So
That's true.
I'd say that it's something that I feel like.
You build it up with the
I have
people.
built it up with the people myself, not with nobody gave me anything. And it's like, I also need to give a lot of thanks to my dad, who has like, I remember there was really, really difficult times when I sort of started in the company in the middle of 2000, 2005, 2006, something like that.
That's almost 20 years ago.
Yes, I know, it sounds like a long time. But yeah, there were several places where they were really difficult cases. And I remember Dad said that I don't want you to go there by yourself. And I remember when I said that I need to do this on my own. And he let me go.
He gave you the space to lead and practice your leadership skills and all that.
Yes,
pretty example.
Yeah, and I think that it was like to be thinking that I was really young back then, and like I said, it was really difficult times and really difficult cases which I had to take care, and it would seem to me like really difficult to give my children that for like
in that age and in that position.
Let them go themselves, because like I'm fairly positive that Dad knew that it would be sort of a it was not so great times or great places where I had to go by myself, but then I said that I need to do this on my own. Like,
and he let you do that. So
and I think that it was also something that I knew that I need to be in these places by myself without my dad. So then these people will know
that you are
I can manage this. I take care of this.
Yeah, that's great, and we really have to give applause to your dad.
Yes.
To give you that space in such a young age.
Yes.
And then the courage that you've had at the time and the boldness to go into that kind of situation must have taught you a lot.
Yes.
What do you remember that you learned in that situation, in that experience?
I'd say that one thing which I try to also, like, it's something that gives you, you need to remember in your personal life, when you're raising children, and also in work life, is that I think that most of the time people are facing these challenges, and it's more has to do with your own head. There is the biggest strength which you have. You just need to believe that I will fix this shit. This will be handled, like
one way or another.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is, and also I struggle a lot because my especially my son, he's 12 now. He's very independent. I know he's very clever. He's very smart, but he can also do sometimes idiotic stuff. But then again, I know that I need to let him go and do this stuff, because it will also teach him that yes, you can manage, you can survive, and you will fix this. You will face problems, but there is like there is not challenges which you can't fix. You just need to work and trust in yourself.
I agree, and I think that's a great lesson for all of us, whether you are a man or a woman. That you just need to trust yourself, and you need to put yourself also very bravely in that kind of situations that challenge you, and you maybe don't know the way out, but you are just going to figure it out.
Yes, and I think that's I'd say that's the, like, things will work out one way or the other.
Exactly.
You just need to fix them.
Yeah. There you go. You just need to, as simple as that. You just need to dive in. You need to challenge yourself. You need to dive into that situation and then just find a way out. Life is always hard, and you get all these different kind of obstacles on your way, but you need to overcome. has there been some kind of situation that you've been thinking that, oh my gosh, this is such a big challenge, that who do I go and ask help? Because we all know that we cannot do things just by ourselves. We need family members, we need clients, we need partners, we need staff members, we need everyone. So when do you remember that, or if you could give us a little example that in what kind of situation you were thinking that, oh gosh, now I really am in a tough position and I need to ask for help from someone, and how did you come up with the idea of who to ask for help?
That's a very difficult question. I'd say that I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I think that, oh, this is really tough, I need now help.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've been in that position.
Okay.
But I'd say that there's millions of situations during the day, which I like smaller. I think it's more of a, I don't know. It's actually quite interesting. I'd say that maybe it's so that I'm sort of a person who doesn't like, I manage my stuff myself, but then on the other hand, I always try to help people, and it's not like I don't ask people for big favors, but I always have loads of people who I can ask, like, oh, I see something and I think about this, and I know that, oh, he knows something about this. I will discuss about with that person.
Along the way,
yes,
the process.
but I'd say that I never ever leave something that I let the problem grow, and then I think like, oh, this is such huge difficulty. I don't know what to do. Who will I turn to? Because then I think that I would have put myself in a position that I need to rely myself on somebody else's hands. But I do it along the way, like all the time.
That's great.
Yeah.
And that is something that I found that many women, they don't, they have all this network of people that they don't maybe understand who they have and how they could benefit of that. But this shows that you do that naturally, and you have built sort of a leadership skills and way of doing things, that you delegate, you talk with different kind of people who know something about it, and then because you do it that way, you never create too big challenges.
Yes, I'd say, like, I have never ever thought about it that way, but now that you asked it, I have never ever, I don't have any single question like that in my mind. But I do it like loads of time, all the time, and it's like, it's very
it's natural for you, I think.
Yeah, I'd say I'd say it would feel very unnatural to me to have a huge problem, which I think that I can't solve this.
Yeah.
I need somebody's help. That would be something that I don't think I would be very comfortable with that situation. But then on the other hand, it is very comfortable to me see that there's several small issues which I know that, oh, Jari knows about this, or somebody knows about that. I will talk to him and ask about that. So it's like, and it's been really, it's been actually quite funny sometimes to be trying to find help. It's like, I remember this one case, it's happened, I don't know, over 10 years ago. We were in this very small village where there's this big sawmill, and we were facing some problem, and we didn't, because we had just started and we had no clue how we were going to fix it. And then there were me, my dad, and then this other guy, and we were thinking about, like, what do we do now? And then I said, I will go for a little drive. Yeah. And then just to think and like neutralize yourself, or maybe not. I just wanted to go and check, like, and then I drove around the village in different type of, I went to people's backyards and their carts, and then I went to this, I found that there was this one place where I saw that there's all sorts of machinery on the yard. Okay. And I went to the door and knocked the door, and I said that, hi, who owns this place? And
Yeah.
and then I found this guy, and then we found a solution, because I said that we have a problem quite close, and you seem to have all sorts of shit.
and maybe we need all this what you have.
I think that we need your help now.
Yeah.
And then we are still working with him.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
Yeah, it was a nice so I think it's easy, but you need to do it along the way, not when it's a huge problem.
I think that's something really, really valuable for the listeners also to notice, that you are growing yourself all the time, every day, in every single situation that you are in.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, if you don't observe how you behave and the way that you think, and way that you can benefit from the other people around you, whether they are the colleagues or staff members or your boss or partners, whoever. And if you are not open-minded, like you were there, that, okay, maybe you took a little time also for yourself to figure out what to do, because you don't always know the how.
Yeah.
But then you took the time to go around and explore the possibilities, how you could solve this problem. And then you found this guy with the machines, and then you were brave enough to go and ask for help, and just to seek what is there, and then go from there. I think that is something that people might, when they are a leader, when they are a boss, or when they're an entrepreneur, they tend to forget that sort of thing, that they are just so much thinking about the solution, the how we fix this, but you don't step out of the situation and then see the big picture and see the other possibilities that might be easier for you to solve it. So I think that's a really good example of that for everyone. And that great. That's amazing. And you just seem so natural doing all these kind of things. And how do you have developed your journey to be this kind of leader? Because there's, along these few minutes already, you have said so many great qualities that a leader should have, and especially a leader who is a minority in the industry, as a female here in the logistic, but then also that you are doing international business. You working here in Finland, but then your business is all over the Europe as well, and the logistic industry over there, I think it might be a little different. I don't know, you are expert in that, but could you tell me something about this your journey from the childhood, and how you have developed yourself? Because I know that there has been these kind of challenges and lots of different things.
Yeah, I have been always I've spent a lot of time as a kid also with dad. I went to the clients. I've met some of the clients like really long time ago.
You were a kid then?
Yes. And
wow.
It's like I don't remember when dad, well anyways, like dad took me always on his trips to, for example, to Italy. So I have been very young when we went there to meet the clients also for the first times. And it's it's been a long journey, but I have learned along the way. There's not like a huge steps. There are some really like big lessons which I have learned during this journey.
Could you say one or two of those?
I'd say that this also will sound a little bit poetic, but it's like,
we don't mind about that.
I'd say you need to focus, like in all your life, you need to see like what are your core values.
Okay.
And I think that the core values in your business should, if you're, for example, especially if you're the owner, they should reflect your own core values, because I think that otherwise it will be a mismatch, and you
Very true. Yeah.
you won't be happy.
Yeah.
And then I think that will reflect on how you work. So
Agree.
that is something. And then when you have found those core values, you should those should be your red line, like all the time.
Yeah.
You should follow those. Like if you follow those, you will be happy. And then on the other hand, whatever will happen, you will have you can sleep during the night. And it's like it will have to do with the client, it will have to do with the personnel. That's because then you can, obviously when you work a lot of people, there are people who don't like you, who don't don't like your decisions, or who think that you're being unfair or this or that. But then when you have the red line and you go follow that, you can always give them the, like, these are the reasons why I did this, and these same rules apply to everybody else
and every situation.
In every situation, that is something that you should.
So that's a good guideline.
Yeah, I'd say that's a very good guideline. And then one thing is also that you should not always optimize your own. I'd say, for example, how much you earn in your business or this or that. You should also in these situations stick with your values. That will help you in the long run. It's like I'd say that is also something. So sometimes we have done something like really stupid in business wise.
I think everybody has.
Yes, but I think that it's something that has paid back in the long run, because people tend to remember if you
do something wrong or go a little exit.
I don't mean like wrong, but in a business wise, there has been situations where I know that if I would take this route, we would make, for example, money, but it wouldn't be fair or honest or something like that. So if you follow that where your values and all are, it will benefit you in the end, I'd say. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. That's exactly how I also think. But I know that there are many people who don't see the world that way.
Yeah.
And they are taking bigger wins in a smaller amount of time, and they are not looking so much further.
But I'd say that it's I'd say that then your motivation is money. And I know a lot of people who have loads of money, and I'd say that that doesn't bring happiness. So it is like saying, when you follow, that is, it works for me.
Yeah.
When you follow your values and you live your life by that brings you happiness. And then as a side effect, that normally tends to bring you also that the business is working well.
Definitely. Yeah. And that sort of, if you say that this is if we call it a lesson, or if we learn it a growth path, that's also written in so many business books and examples, and lots of successful people, and we don't go into the terminology of what is success. It's something different to everyone, but if we determine it by the word of happiness and living your life the way that you think you should live it, in the long run, that brings the abundant world for you. Yes. If you follow the bigger path, so to say, which might feel sometimes a bit of a struggle, but I think that's also a really good reminder again to not to take quick exits, so to say, but build it a bit longer, and then you will in the end benefit much more.
And I'd say that it's also something that for maybe to listeners, that I don't think that should be the goal for anyone. Like how can I make the most of the money? You should try to think about what would make me happy. Like what would be the work that would make my life life happy,
Mm.
and where I can follow my values. And then when you start to do that, obviously there needs to be some sort of business as well.
Yeah, the world goes around the money, so we need money.
But
yeah.
I'd say that money shouldn't be the number one goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson. Or a reminder. Well, you as a female leader, and today's topic is being about female leader in a male-dominated industry. So, could you tell something about your normal work day? What is it like? What's involved? What's happening in
my days?
Your days, like a normal day.
I'd say that they vary a lot. Like
okay, and why do they vary a lot?
Because I might go to a big company's head office where great office space, like really nice cafes and all this type of I choose which salad we take or something like that.
Yeah.
And I can have a high heels or whatever when I go there. But then
looking like a lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
The next day I might be wearing my work jacket, like with the reflectors and everything, with the helmet on, and I might go to for example to a sawmill, go around with the people, talk with them, I don't know, maybe even help around with something. So it changes, like, and everything in between is possible.
Okay. So from the high heels with the helmet in the construction side or driving a truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it changed a lot, and I that is also something which I like a lot. It's like the days are never the same.
What can you say? It is you have to find something that, as you said, what makes you happy and what keeps you in a development path.
Yes.
That you can learn something.
Yeah.
And I take it from your words that you learn every day something little, and there is some sort of excitement every day that you look into that what's happening today and what can I learn and how can I develop this and myself as a leader. Yeah.
And I think that also, I don't know, some of the topics which we were talking before is that one thing which I have also learned, that you need to thank these people for like
the people you work with.
Yes, because you learn from them.
Oh yeah.
You need to thank them for that as well. And then also, which I try to be very specific about, that if somebody gives a really good idea or whatever, like somebody's idea, I really try to remember that I will tell everybody that this is not my idea. It was his idea.
Yes. I think that's great example, because
people tend to forget that.
And especially here in Finland, I think.
And I think it's something that you should always emphasize. If somebody has given a great idea, definitely you should tell that this is not my idea. It was his idea, and it's excellent. So I think it's
that's really good, because we don't say thank yous enough to anyone. As a parent, as a colleague, as a boss, and I think that when we raise that kind of awareness and we say that publicly to others, it could create this safe environment for everyone to be who they are and really grow to be the best potential of themselves. And then I think, as we mentioned, the long path and developing the company and yourself in that sense, that not taking quick wins, but growing and growing a little, and in the end you get much more of something. Do you see that this is one of the ways to get there?
Yeah, I think it's also, like I said, I have always gained a lot of help. Like, to be honest, I don't think myself, I'm not very good at anything. I know loads about many stuff, but I'm not very good at anything, I'd say. So it's more of a, like, people help you when you don't, like, say that this was my idea or
and pretend that it was your idea when it was actually someone else's.
So then it motivates them to, like, they know that if they give me some idea, I will definitely tell that this wasn't my idea. It's he actually got this idea. So I think that also, like, people want to help you because you say that they have helped me.
So that kind of encourages them to co-create and cooperate, but also empowers them to be themselves and work with others.
They don't have to worry about that. I will take their idea.
The credit, yes. Yeah. I think that's good. And I think that is something that the females can bring into any industry.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the men are not doing that. I know lots of men who are doing that, but I find that is more of a feminine way of thinking and working and sharing all these different experiences and ideas with many different people.
Yeah, maybe so.
It's like building the network around you, that you take everybody into consideration and listen and go around these things. I think that it is something women. But you agree? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's something that I kind of learned today. That maybe you said that it was something like that. But what do you think that this your job and being a leader, what does it require? Something that you haven't said yet. You said a lots of different things and gems. I love that. But what could be something that you would say as a woman to another woman or to a younger leader, whether it's a female or a man?
Well, I think that we have sort of discussed about that topic as well, but you need to be sort of I don't know, you need to rely on yourself, and you have to be not brave. Brave is not like I'm not going to a war. It's like you need to have courage to do all sorts of stuff. And I'd say that you need to have there's not a word in English, I'd say, but you need to have Sisu, a lot of Sisu.
Oh yes, this is the Finnish word Sisu, spelled SISU.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's you don't give up. You just keep on going. It's like, I think that it's in many. It doesn't mean that you can't say that I was wrong. We will do something else.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the same thing, but it means that you will try, like once you have started to do something, you will try to do it all the way.
Yeah. It's like being persistent and consistent with the thing and having the vision in mind.
Yes.
And not giving up.
Yeah, not giving up. That is something that I have learned, that you really don't give up. You just keep on pushing. You will achieve what you have try to achieve in the end. You just need to work hard. And then also, as a for the female listeners, I'd say that I think that sometimes I have seen these situations that women tend to maybe think about, or maybe some women, that if you get somebody says that this idea is not good, for example, they straight away go behind the fact that I'm a woman. They said that my idea is stupid because I'm a woman. And I think that it's something that you should not do, because, for example, people have said that my ideas are stupid.
Yeah.
And it's because the idea has been stupid.
Yeah.
So
but it doesn't have to do anything with your gender.
And I think that is something that I encourage every female to be thinking about in these situations. If you get the idea that was it because I was a woman, and then you should always consider that it might actually be
just the idea.
Just the idea, not the. I'm not saying that it happens a lot, but I see sometimes it happens, and it's like it works on the opposite way. Like people are talking about this, for example, this salary thing.
Oh yeah, that you have, as a woman, you have less salary than the men for doing the same job.
Yes,
yeah.
But it's 100% that if there's job applications for the same job, women ask for a lot less. than
So
men.
you should ask for more as a woman.
So sort of say like
Yeah.
it's
I can do
men,
this, and I
yes.
deserve that.
yes, men do that.
Men do that, yes.
Yeah, and it's like it's you should ask for more. You should ask for more, and also like sort of say ask more of yourself as well.
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
very true. I remember one Finnish musician, a female one, saying to me some time ago that the women, just what you said, that the women tend to feel a little bit unworthy.
Yeah.
And they don't think so highly of themselves, their skills or their talents, or themselves in general, and for that reason they are comparing themselves to others.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because we have unique skills and a unique personality and unique me, and you have unique you. And if we compare the men and women in terms of having the same job and the same salary, why would you ask for less than the average is there?
Yeah, and then on the other hand, after that, when there's these statistics and it says that there's a lot less for women, I think it's obvious because you asked for that.
Yeah,
you did not
ask for more.
Yes,
I love that.
Yeah.
So we do hope that the women get more empowered and encouraged by this, that be strongly who you are and stand on your feet and show up as yourself.
Yeah, I'd say that it's like I think that you should just be like you can do this.
Yeah.
It's,
Don't settle less than what you are worthy and what you know, and be proud of what you know, because you might actually, what I've seen, that many women, and when they are leaders or they want to be a leader but they don't have the courage or some sort of a step to take the next step, they tend to think that I'm not as good as the other one, but they don't really reflect that, okay, maybe I know actually much more than the other one. And
it's like
and we are pushing ourselves too much down, even still today.
I'd say this is very common that I also hear. There's been several, I'd say even several discussions with my friends who have been like I remember one case, one person was saying that they, like there was the CEO was retiring and they had sort of kind of given a hint that she should apply for it.
Okay.
And she was saying like, I don't think I'm good enough. I said to her like, what are you thinking about? Like,
if the others even think that you are.
These are the people who are running this now.
Uh-huh.
So do you think that they are like, they don't know anything?
Yeah.
Or do you think that there is some Pekka who is much more better at this than you? And I said that no, you will take this place.
Yeah.
And then she was also saying like, I don't know, there is this and that, and I was like,
forget that.
Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah. Going for it.
Yeah, you definitely can do this. It's like, I don't know why women tend to think
that we need to be perfect, I think.
Yeah, and
but it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, and I don't think that men are definitely not perfect. So, but they
none of us are.
Yeah, I think that they are much more sort of confident about themselves. And
there's the word, confident.
Confident, and also like they know that they know.
They figure it out.
Yeah. So we should be more of that as well. Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
And just figure it out along the way. And I love that. I love that. And being more confident about who we are and we can handle things as we do them every day.
Yes, it's like what I said in the beginning. It's like I have not faced any situation which I have not been able to fix somehow. I do not know when it starts how I will fix it, but I will definitely fix it.
One way or another.
Yes.
Yeah. and I think that there aren't, what I've learned throughout these years of 40 plus something, that there is not a right way. There are just many ways to fix that, whatever the situation or the challenge is. And you just have to choose one and go, and then adjust along the way. And I think there's was it Bob Proctor, who just unfortunately passed, but I think it was him or one of his colleagues who said that it doesn't matter how long you've gone to in the wrong road. If you notice that the road is wrong and you have gone it like hundreds of kilometers, let's say this way, and then you realize that, okay, this is the wrong road. It doesn't matter how far you are, you can always turn back. And that is something I think what comes out of this question, this topic that we've been talking about today, and this discussion that you are pointing that, you know, just go and fix it and just do it and put yourself into different challenges and just figure it out.
And like
with
you
others.
said in you can always turn around, and then there's the sideways as well. Like there's several routes which you can take.
Exactly.
You just need to make your own path.
I love that. Make your own path and just figure it out. Oh my gosh, I love it. Couple of questions to finish up this lovely conversation. There has been so many gems. I love that. And I hope that the listeners will love it too. And I guess they will. How do you see that the leadership has changed? As long as you remember backwards from your past up to today, how do you see it has changed, and what do you see it will be in the future?
I'd say obviously like in Finland, or I think everywhere, it has like this sort of a management by perkele is like
perkele is another Finnish word. It's a swear word, but it's like going down the hill.
It's like not the yelling or screaming or whatever. It's like it's not like that anymore. You need to discuss with people. You need to be respect them and thank them, and I'd say that it's more of working together,
co-creating things together.
And also understanding like which I've said a few times in this one, that you need to understand that for example, me, like I said, I'm not very good at anything. So you need to have a lot of help from the others. It's the team that you work with. It's
and different kind of team members.
You need to be able to, you need to be such a person that people who are good and like you can rely and trust, they want to work with you. I'd say that is something that you need to behave in such manner that people want to work with you.
I think that those are good reminders for all of us. And as a leader position, as a leadership role, you need to really think how you behave and how you treat others, and what you say to others, and how can you create such an environment that people want to work with you. Because the leader is, like you said, it's a position of gained trust and respect.
I'd say that. And also one thing which is something really important is still that I'd say that leaders need to find other leaders which they can rely on. That's very important, because it's like I've always said that, well, there's different opinions about this issue, but there's been like that leader can also be vulnerable or this and that.
Of course, we're humans.
We're humans, but I'd say that would you want to go on a war with the general or whatever who's going in front and he's crying like how difficult this is? No, you don't want to do that. It's like he should do it with the other generals and talk about like how difficult the situation is, that how we are going to fix this. So I'd say that a good leader needs to find other leaders where he can discuss about the problems, like
who understand him or her.
Because on the other hand, it's a quite lonely position. Because like I said, I don't think it like what I have also learned that people want somebody who says that we can fix this.
Yeah.
Now just calm down and we will take care of this. You don't
We'll do
have
it
to,
together.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about this. I'll fix this and you will help me.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. That is so good. That is so good, and it is such a good way to end this lovely conversation that has, like said so many times before, I think there has been ton of value and really good reminders and also like real life examples of how to go into different kind of situation, how to handle them, and how to be a leader in that kind of positions, especially because the whole idea here is in this podcast that how you can channel business forward in a good way, and what are the essentials behind that kind of behavior and going towards the vision. And one question more.
Yeah.
What is coming up in your life and in your business next? What are you going after now?
I think that we have gained a lot of sort of, I would even say huge businesses.
Mhm.
So it's like main focus now is to be like, it's the best day of the contract has passed because we have signed the contracts. Now we need to do the
Oh,
work.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, so it's going to be like, it will be, we have already started those projects and they have been really, it will be really exciting times for the whole team because it will be like a very unique in even Finnish scale. So I think it will be nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's something that I remember. I have to get back to this more before we finish. You mentioned in the earlier talk what we had, that during your leadership time, the company has grown enormously and it has taken these big, so to say, big leaps of growing and being more in this industry and being one of the role models here in Finland in this logistic and transportation industry. And now that you mentioned that you have made a new contract and you are again growing more, how do you do all this? Where these all visions and ideas come from?
I'd say it's also it's the same principle or which we have been discussing. It's like there are difficult situations, but there is always tons of solutions. So I'd say that it's also, I also find it very interesting. It doesn't matter if it's work or private life. If somebody says that it's impossible, I'm like, no.
Go beyond.
Yes. It's like nothing is, basically almost nothing is impossible.
I agree.
So
it's just a way of perception.
Yeah, it's about that, and I think that we have been good. We have been in the past. My father has been very good in that. That he has been also always been able to see different ways of working, and I must say that I'm happy that it has passed on, and we have been
obviously
we have been able to find new solutions for it. So I think it's quite nice that the customers are also relying on that one.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Such a good way to finish this, like the bringing the possibility, being open to the possibilities along the way and bring them into probability and then in reality.
Yes.
I love that. And this is such a good way to finish this conversation.
Yeah.
One last thing, where people can find you if they want to reach out to you and just talk with you or learn more about your business or cooperate with you.
My contact info is on our webpage,
which is
it's very long. I don't think
Kuljetusliike Huhtala.
Kuljetusliike Kalevi
Huhtala.
Yeah, but if you Google my name, there will be a lot of stuff under my name, and you will find my contact info there. And I'm happy to help if somebody has any questions.
And I've understood that you're very, very happy to help other female leaders
Yes.
to go forward and just empower them along the way.
Just call or email if you have any questions.
Well, thank you, Kati Huhtala. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you. This was my first podcast.
What an honor!
Yeah, very exciting.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much. And for our listeners, I truly want to thank you for listening Channel Business Podcast episode of Female Leadership in Transportation and Logistic Industry, and what can we learn to as a woman to step up and show up and be ourselves. I hope you got some valuable tips and tools, encourage and inspirations with useful insights that were a ton in this episode from my amazing guest Kati Huhtala today. Also, thank you for being with us through this episode, and until next time, kindly with smiles.